example of people wondering, and I had a good time. I had a lot of, I bought a wrestling ring at 3 a.m. I mean, first time getting money. Not everybody's supposed to have money. I was not supposed to have money at the beginning of that. I still worked hard at my craft, but I was not supposed to have money. There's some people that get money once you start sleeping on satin sheet. Not as good. Feels like in the NIL that could be a positive because we already know what people are doing whenever they get some money. And has it changed the way they act when they're talking to you? Is there a little bit more entitlement potentially from people who have been professionals for a few years before entering the National Football League?
From my experiences so far, I thought going into this NIL thing, a few years ago, that we were going to be seeing the entitlement more so than not. But from my experience so far, I think it's just been the opposite. I think these players are coming in very well educated on how to handle their money, how to handle success. They already have a team of people, a lot of them, that are investing their money. The days of asking the player, what are you going to do with your first paycheck when you get your bonus? What's the first thing you're going to buy? You can't ask that anymore because they've already done all that. They bought the car. There's a lot of them that bought the house already. So I think they're really more mature about it now. And I think it's just society now. I think their moms, their dads, but a lot of cases their parents have really taught them well now, and maybe it's just because the players we're taking are very mature, but I think overall it's been a positive experience.
I think I've been seeing that too. That's why the NIL entitlement conversation does come up a couple times. Like there's people out there that people talk about and the way they act, for sure. And negativity is going to hog publicity, but getting a chance to meet these guys traveling around for college football and college game day, these kids are millionaires at 19. And I'm thinking about myself. If I was like on a college campus with 50-cent beers right there? Yeah. Like that is what this is? That's what I'm saying. So like the way I see these guys operate, I'm just like so impressed, like so mind blown by the way. And I think they've kind of been scared by society too to like act right. Because if you get caught on camera or caught on anything, your life's over. And they've seen friends, they've seen that. So I think that's why there's a lot more people that stay in. I think there's a lot more people that have matured quickly. I think people learn a lot more about stuff. And I think they don't view money as big of a life changer as maybe we would have whenever we're coming up, because it's just part of the process.
Yeah, but I mean, that not only impact on the young man at that time, but the family and the ecosystem around him. They're becoming a millionaire. So that could potentially be a bad part of it. But Jason, I want to ask you a potential good outcome. And I know we're still early on in the NIL era, but do you feel like it'll lead to better and deeper drafts? Because Tony asked you about Benjamin Morrison. I thought that's first round pick. Obviously, he had the health concern. First round pick, easily, I think, the best press corner in this class. And there was a lot of corners and receivers and D linemen go late that I thought would be first round picks in past. You think it'll lead to better drafts down the line?
Potentially, yeah. Potentially. I think we saw it this year a little bit, like you said, Ben Morrison. You're also running into a little bit of a problem with. We're watching, linebackers, defensive linemen in particular at big schools where they're out of the game in pivotal moments, or they rotate, and that used to be a red flag for us, but now it's just the way it is. These programs have to play the freshmen, otherwise, because they're afraid of losing them. So it's been, you normally wouldn't see a linebacker rotate at Notre Dame, or a defensive lineman rotate at Tennessee. You'd keep the best players in there, but they have to keep in mind with the pipeline coming. So it's a fine line that they're walking.
I didn't even think about that until right now. Yeah. That's awesome. You're watching the film. Where the hell is this guy? Is this guy tapping out on third downs? What it is? Give a call. Yeah, we got to get him 10 snaps. Got to get him at least 10 snaps. That's kind of in his contract there. He'll leave. We need him next year, brother. That is a wild situation. That's something I never thought of.
At all. And as a player, you would hate it, but long term, it may help you out. You may go into the draft fresher, go into the league fresher.
Yeah, but the dogs want to be out there.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Every snap.
Especially what do you think about the Travis Hunter? We only got a couple more minutes here. What were your guys' thoughts on a player being able to go offense, defense, and even special teams seemingly? He could punt probably for them if he really wanted to. What are your thoughts on Travis Hunter, the anomaly? Is that how you viewed it?
Wedding on Friday.
Yeah. I mean, he's a unicorn. We're not supposed to talk about other players with other teams. He hasn't signed his contract yet, so. Yeah, he was a unicorn. It gave you a good problem. Like, where are you going to play him? Or are you going to play him both spots? So it's going to be an interesting. If he continues to where he is now, it's going to be an interesting subject here in 4 or 5 years when his contract's up.